Hi, welcome to Break My Gadget, and I'll be reviewing today the really cost-effective MagCubic HY300 Projector Pro. So this little device is sold as a really cheap alternative to those expensive projectors that you can easily then plug in to a device or even stream straight from it. But is it any good? Let's check. So first of all, the design of it, it's very small. It's 90 millimeters diameter, and it stands at its tallest point at 180 millimeters. The lead it comes with, unfortunately, is only 1 meter length, so you probably will have to buy an extension cable, and that was a bit disappointing. But you can't run it from battery. There are claims that you can put a battery pack connected to it to allow it to run for a little while, but it doesn't come as standard. It's a really clean design. On the back of it is literally one power button. The connections on the back are, again, very simple. It has a HDMI lead if you want to plug a device into it, like a DVD player or even output from a laptop. And it also has a USB, so you can actually play your USB files on it if you have video files as well and show images. It also has a headphone jack, and that is about it. However, its simplicity is what makes it so desirable, because once you turn it on, it comes ready built with various apps such as Netflix. So the screen resolution is a 1280 by 720p. It has a projector throw of 40 to 130 inches, which we did check and does work quite effectively. First of all, the interface. So the interface isn't going to win any design awards, but it is very simple and it works. Natively, it comes with Netflix and YouTube. And as you can see, the front screen is very basic in terms of the interface, but that's quite nice. Actually, it doesn't try and overwhelm it with any complications. It's a really simple user interface. The other thing as well is, although it's got Netflix and YouTube on it, the advantage is it has Google Play Store. And that means Google Play Store, you can then download the likes of Disney, Apple, Kodi even. So it has the whole Google Play Store available to you. Downside is that it is a little bit laggy. Netflix especially, the interface isn't particularly user-friendly. The content is fully there. However, to be able to easily search and move around the screen is very difficult. You can put the controller in mouse mode, but anyone who's tried to use a controller in mouse mode on a TV, it isn't a point and drag. It's a push the cursor left, right, and up and down, and it doesn't work effectively very well. And I very rarely use it, if at all. Now, in terms of changing that user interface, the only thing that you can do is you can add additional icons to the bottom. So let's say that you've downloaded Amazon Prime, for example, and you want to add that onto the home screen. There is a bar at the bottom which you can add additional apps, but that is it. You can't change the tiles from the Netflix and the YouTube and settings and things like that. So it's not, like I said, not going to win the awards, but it's not really built for that. It's more about usability, and that's its plus. Very, very usable. So the other thing as well, which I haven't touched on, but is a big plus for this, is that although it's got HDMI in, so you can plug it into a laptop or a DVD, the other thing it has is streaming. So if you wanted to stream from your phone or from your laptop or from an iPad even, you can do that. On the remote itself, it has dedicated buttons that go through to those streaming options, and it has the ability to connect via Wi-Fi. It has AirPlay, it has Miracast, it has Android wired and Apple wired, so you could even plug it in via the USB straight into it and it will play straight away. That is tremendous, and it works really well as well. So if you've got an Android or an Apple, you will be able to connect to it and stream from it. So even if you find the interface for the likes of Netflix or Disney or others a bit clunky, you can still stream from your phone if you wanted to do that. Now, that does bring it on to a bit of a negative, is if you are going to use this device but you are purely using it in the form of not streaming, but you want to download films on it, it hasn't got a huge internal memory. It has 8 gigabytes in total, however 3 of that is used up from the basic interface, so you're left with about 5 gigabytes, which isn't going to give you too much memory to be able to download films. However, You can obviously extend that hard drive if you plugged in a USB drive into the back. And like I said, if you wanted to start streaming, you could do that by plugging in your phones or a device such as a laptop or DVD. So I think if you're using this because you want to download loads of films on it and bring it with you remotely, then it does have limitations. You might have to buy an external USB drive. So the other thing that's worth noting is the settings. So it does have standard settings on there, such as brightness and hue and saturation, all those kind of things. But the things that I really like is it also has the ability to flip the projector, and that can be quite important. So if you've ever used a projector before, putting it into the right orientation can be quite frustrating. So it flips it up or down or left or right. So depending on what you're putting the image onto. Other thing as well, which is amazing for the price, is it has the ability to keystone. Now what keystone is if you aren't pointing the projector at a flat screen, so it's slightly at an angle, then you are going to have to manipulate the image so it appears flat. Now I've over exaggerated it in this video here and put it onto quite a steep 45 degrees face, but you can see that I can manipulate the corners manually to be able to do that. It does have an automatic keystone mode, which should automatically set the screen straight depending on where you put it. It wasn't particularly great, and to be honest, I forgive it for that. The keystone I've always found on other projectors you do have to play with, and this was no different in this case. Staying on the settings, the one weakness is its sound. You are not going to get a great sound out of this. If you're looking for it to really project sound out of, you are going to have to Bluetooth connect it to a Bluetooth speaker or use the headphone jack. It is really only meant for a small environment. The fan on it isn't too noisy. However, even with top volume, if you've got quite a quiet film or movie or series you're watching, you will notice the background fan as well. That said, it is great that you can plug it into a Bluetooth speaker. So for the size of it, sound wise isn't going to be great. It's very tinny, it hasn't got much bass, but you do have options to extend it if you wish. So overall, what do we think? We think this is an absolute bargain. We use this on a regular occasion when we want to go away, and to put up a screen of 130 inches from this is tremendous. Out the box, you can, if you've got a good Wi-Fi connection, start streaming from Netflix and YouTube, and even download all of the apps you would on a Google Play Store. And that's the thing that we love about it, is it's really got that open access in which it's got the likes of Kodi, it's got a HDMI lead on it, it's got a USB for loading up films on it, it's got the AirPlay and the Miracast. So as a projector and the functionality, you cannot go wrong. Yes, it's not going to be 4K, and yes, the sound isn't great, but for the price it's at, this is a tremendous projector. I hope that's helped. Please do like and please subscribe. Of course, leave comments down the bottom. We're always interested to hear from you, and thanks for watching.